Beneath Ontario's dense forests and quiet lakes lurks something older than time itself. Legends whisper of the Fae, not the playful sprites of fairy tales, but something darker. Travelers vanish without a trace. Hunters return with hollow eyes and stolen voices. Strange laughter drifts through the trees at night, and those who follow it are never seen again. The Fae are watching, waiting, and those who cross their path don't always come back. The Man Who Stepped Out of Time, Algonquin Park, 2003. In the summer of 2003, a seasoned outdoorsman named Tom Peterson set out on a solo trip in Algonquin Provincial Park, one of Ontario's most untouched wilderness areas. He was experienced, prepared, and completely alone, or so he thought. On his third day, deep into the backcountry, he came across a narrow, overgrown trail he had never seen before, even though he'd hiked the area dozens of times. Something about it felt off. The air was still, no wind, no birds, no insects, silent. But then he heard it, laughter, soft, childlike. He turned, but there was nothing. And then a shadow, just at the edge of his vision. Not an animal, not quite human. Something small and fast, ducking between the trees. He should have turned back. Instead, he stepped off the main path and followed the trail. Tom wasn't gone long, maybe 10 minutes. But when he stepped back onto the main path, his watch was dead. His GPS wouldn't turn on. And the sun was lower than it should have been. Somehow, an entire hour had passed. That's when he noticed the whispers from behind him, from both sides. "Go back, Tom." His blood turned to ice. He ran, hard, not stopping until he reached his campsite. His gear was untouched. His fire was out, but his tent, the zipper was open. And inside, tiny, muddy footprints. Tom never camped alone again. To this day, he doesn't know what happened on that trail. But locals in Algonquin Park tell a familiar warning. If you find a path that isn't on the map, don't follow it. It's not meant for you. And if you hear laughter in the trees, run. The Woman Who Spoke to the Fae, Muskoka, Ontario, 1988. In the summer of 1988, a woman named Eleanor Driscoll moved to a secluded cottage near Muskoka, deep in Ontario's forested lake country. She wanted peace, solitude, a quiet place to write. What she found instead was something watching her. At night, glowing orbs floated beyond the tree line, not fireflies, bigger, brighter, moving with intent. Some hovered just outside her window, pulsating in shades of blue and green. And then there was the music. Soft, distant flutes and bells. It would come from the woods, especially after midnight. At first, Eleanor dismissed it as her imagination, until she spoke to them. One night, after too much wine, Eleanor stood on her deck, staring at the lights, and laughed. "All right then, what do you want from me?" For a long moment, silence. Then the whispers came, too many voices at once. Not in her head, around her. They spoke in a language she didn't understand. Then, laughter, high-pitched, childlike, but wrong. She rushed inside, locked the doors, drew the curtains, but the whispers didn't stop. That night, she barely slept. The next morning, something was left on her front step, a small pile of stones, stacked in a perfect spiral. At the center, a dead bird. The warning. Eleanor wasn't scared, not yet. She thought it was a prank, until she told her neighbor, an elderly woman named Margaret Reed. The moment Eleanor mentioned the lights and the voices, Margaret grabbed her wrist, hard. "Don't ever talk to them again." Margaret called them the little folk, said her grandmother had warned her about them. She told Eleanor to leave them alone. But Eleanor was a skeptic, a woman of logic. She didn't listen. That night, she stood on her deck again and spoke. "Come on then, show yourselves." The music stopped, and the lights, all of them, went out at once. For the first time, Eleanor felt something new. She locked the doors, boarded the windows, slept with every light on. And at exactly 3:12 a.m., she woke up to someone breathing right outside her bedroom door. She was alone in the house. 2 weeks later, Eleanor packed up and left the cottage for good. She never told anyone what she saw or what she heard on her last night there. Margaret Reed passed away in 1992. But in 1999, a new couple moved into Eleanor's old cottage. They left after only 3 nights. No explanation, just a for sale sign in the yard. To this day, that house remains abandoned. Locals say the land itself is cursed, and on some nights, if you listen carefully, you can still hear music, soft, faint, coming from the woods. The Vanishing Hiker, Algonquin Park, Ontario, 2003. In July 2003, a seasoned outdoorsman, 31-year-old Daniel Carter, vanished without a trace while hiking in Algonquin Provincial Park. The search teams found no tracks, no sign of struggle, no evidence of a bear attack. But what they did find, hidden deep in the forest, made some believe that Daniel didn't just get lost. Daniel was an experienced solo hiker. He had done this trail many times before. On July 9th, he set off on a 3-day trip. He was supposed to return by the 12th, but on the evening of the 10th, he made one last call to his girlfriend. His voice sounded off. "I don't think I'm alone out here." She laughed, assuming he meant wolves or a bear. But his next words? "No, it's people. I think they're watching me." Then silence. Call dropped. That was the last time anyone heard his voice. By July 13th, rangers started searching. No footprints, no campsite, no sign of him. But then, miles from his intended route, they stumbled across something, a circle of mushrooms, unnaturally perfect. At the center, his backpack, still zipped, food untouched, water full, but Daniel was nowhere. 2 days later, a second search team found a single set of footprints in the soft earth, small, bare feet. Not Daniel's, not human. They stopped abruptly, as if whatever made them had vanished into thin air. Then something even stranger happened. On the 4th day, a park ranger named Kyle Henderson was doing a solo sweep of the woods. That's when he heard crying. Following the sound, he found a half-conscious Daniel Carter lying inside the same mushroom circle where they had found his backpack. When they got him back to safety, Daniel was dehydrated but unharmed. Doctors said he had no injuries, no signs of exposure, but Daniel's own version of events? That's where it gets terrifying. He claimed he remembered walking on the trail, then suddenly being somewhere else. A clearing, no trees, no sky, just mist. And they were there. Not human, not quite visible, but they laughed, and they whispered in a language he didn't understand. They let him go, but not before telling him something in a clear, chilling voice. One sentence: "We will see you again." Daniel never hiked again. In 2005, he moved out of Canada entirely, refused to talk about what happened. But to this day, hikers still report strange laughter in that part of Algonquin. A few have even seen small figures darting between the trees. If you ever go out there, stay out of the mushrooms, because if the Fae take you once, they might not bring you back. We hope you enjoyed these stories. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. There's plenty more to come, and you won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.